Do you remember what happened in year 5 up in Green Bay?
Sure do. Good year. Tough year though. Started very, very difficult year to start off with. So it's all about the finish, as I'm told, right, Todd?
Mike McCarthy kicking off year 5 as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys with a little bit of reminiscing, I don't know, maybe a little bit of manifesting of what he put together in year 5 as head coach of the Green Bay Packers. We've got week 1 of NFL football back here on Sunday. Welcome into Cowboys Rewind. I'm Nicole Hutchinson, and I've got you all covered up until the kickoff with Cleveland. It's week 1, like I mentioned, of NFL football, and I hope you're ready to kick off things in Huntington Bank Field. 2023 was another year of disappointment, another year with an early playoff exit. So the priority for this team is simple: win, not only in the regular season, but have playoff success in 2024. Jerry Jones put a sense of urgency on that, placing the coaching staff on one-year deals. But is there pressure? Mike McCarthy thinks it's more of an opportunity.
This business is about opportunity. I'm thankful and appreciate the opportunity in front of me. And that's really how it's been. I mean, you know, and I get what goes in contracts, and I really don't want to speak on it because I haven't spoke on it because there's really nothing to talk about because it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is today, and that's really, I think, something that we can all just stay in touch with because we do have responsibilities, you know, outside of winning games, and but the only thing that, you know, truly pays the bills is winning games. So, and that's where my mind's at. I mean, I'm 30 plus years into this, so we know how things work. But yeah, I can't stand up in front of a group of men and consistently on a daily basis demand that they focus their time and energy on winning, and then I'm up here talking about things that have nothing to do with winning. So I guess that's how I deal with it.
And so much has been said this offseason with Steve and Jerry about, and you just referenced about finishing in the playoffs. How do you make sure that the team still maintains focus, for example, this week on Cleveland and week to week until you get to January?
Well, I mean, it's not hard to focus on Cleveland. I mean, it's you know, it's what's right in front of us. Yeah, you have to have a plan. You know, my plan's for 21 games. We have a 21 game plan. Laid it out today in the team meeting. You know, just the overview of it, and it's the way I've always done it. I think you clearly, there's obstacles that you know you're going to have to overcome. There's a process that we have that works, you know, whether it's veteran players, younger players, the details of how we want to coach. You know, certain parts of the week are important. I think it's very, very important in today's game, and it's been this way for probably the last 15 plus years, is the development of your younger players. These guys are going to play. We're going to have guys play earlier than maybe we ever had in my time here. But, you know, my experience is these young players playing, you know, in November, December, important games. So you better pay that forward. So that's part of the plan. So, you know, I don't think there's too many things that you cannot, you know, look forward to and have part of your everyday operation. Because if you don't, you can't just, you know, shift gears in week 7 and, you know, decide that you're going to, you know, be something that you haven't, you know, really focused on being in off-season program, training camp. That's why we take 8 full practices to install everything offensive, defense. So, you know, these are all things that are part of the plan to make sure that we're, you know, putting the energy, the time, the vision, you know, to be playing our best football at the end of the year. You know, and frankly, and learn from all the experiences that we've had here for 5 years. You know, it's pro and con. So that all goes into a good, healthy plan.
8 months of dialing up a healthy plan. Well, now it's time to execute it on Sunday. It's wheels up to Cleveland. The Cowboys taking on the Browns. And now Dak Prescott's got to do it with a new supporting cast. It starts with 2 rookie offensive linemen starting on that offensive line, and they're trying to dominate the Defensive Player of the Year and company. That's up next year on Cowboys Rewind.
Cowboys Rewind is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by SWBC Mortgage, customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit swbc.com. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
2011, that was the last time the Cowboys started 2 rookies on the offensive line. That was future Hall of Famer and former Cowboy Tyron Smith and Bill Nagy. Well, this year, it's first-round pick of the 2024 NFL Draft, Tyler Guyton, and third-round pick Cooper Beebe. They've both done the work, impressed the coaching staff to earn the starting jobs fair and square, but most importantly, they've earned the respect of the vets.
Came in since day one, wanting to work, willing to work, put in extra time. They're asking the vets all the questions they need to ask. And they're gifted physically and mentally, so I'm excited for all of them.
They've handled doing 2 quote-unquote high-profile positions on the line, left tackle and center. How do you think they've been able to manage the mental part of that?
Man, they're doing it like true professionals. Even though they're young, man, they're just, especially Cooper. Man, look at him; he's just a natural leader. And TG, man, he wants to work. Man, he soaks everything up like a sponge. I couldn't be more impressed with those 2.
Since Beebe and Guyton both arrived in Dallas, they've had this maturity about them, showing they're ready to compete at the NFL level, physically and mentally. But the question has been asked all week: is the preseason a good measuring stick to prove these 2 rookies are ready to battle with some of the NFL's best pass rushers, and in Beebe's case, handle one of the toughest defensive tackles in the league? The girls share their thoughts on Girls Talk, Boys Talk.
The way that Beebe has just handled the attention, but he's never played center before in a game other than preseason. Yeah. And playing in front of heavy Cowboy fans on the road in preseason in Los Angeles and Las Vegas does not prepare you for the dog pound in Cleveland and 72,000 fans in the season opener. And it doesn't matter how good or bad the Browns may be. That is one of the top fan bases in the NFL. And you can practice silent counts during the week. You can crank up the stereo, the speakers, Yeah, our friends across the way in the Dr. Pepper headquarters building, which is directly across from ours. We're Cowboys headquarters on one side of the practice field, Dr. Pepper headquarters on the other side, and they love it when we play away games because for 2 hours they get cranked up noise, in their midday. But it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. And then this is a very, very fine Browns defense that they can move Myles Garrett around if they want to, but this is going to be a huge test for Tyler Guyton as well and Terrence Steele, because I think they'll both see plenty of him moving around. But I think these guys have the right makeup. They've had good camps. And, Guyton with the sore knee back at practice, and that's good, but it's going to be a whole different thing come Sunday in Cleveland. For sure.
Absolutely. I also think, I don't like to put a lot of pressure on Guyton, but he's going to have to quickly be comfortable in that position fast, and I know he's a rookie and I know he's ready, but that makes me nervous, Cooper, and also Tyler being rookies and the unknown, like we were speaking on, not knowing. So it is going to be something I'm looking at, is just those 2 rookies. And of course, they've had such a great camp, and McCarthy has spoken about how he loves how they're confident, that their work ethic, they're taking notes, they're doing all the extra work, but it's nothing like game time.
No, Christy, I'm so glad that you brought up the silent count and that you brought up because they're going to need to go to it. And the center and quarterback communication is intense. So I really hope this week we're able to even talk to Dak and see if they've done any extra things to prepare Cooper Beebe for what's going to happen, going into that Browns defense. That Browns defense, to your point, Bonnie Jill and Christy, they move these guys around. Yeah. So, when you talk about a Tyler Guyton, one thing about Tyler Guyton is we're going to have to understand that there's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times. So one of the things for him coming out of the draft was his hand placement. And you can see that is something that he's still working, and he's gotten better at it even by the time, since the draft. But I think that Cooper Beebe is just a tad bit more technically sound than Guyton is right now when it comes to his hand placement and stuff like that. He can kind of get away with a little bit more. But this offensive line is going to tell the tale.
Well, just a few hours until that story unfolds. BB and Guyton looking to make a name for themselves on Sunday against the Browns, just like many other rookies on this roster. How about Caelen Carson, the rep in the DMV like Trayvon Diggs, and looking to make a name for himself as well. Is he another rising star for this Dallas Cowboys team? Find out up next.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
The injury bug continues to grab a hold of this Cowboys cornerback room. In 2022, Dallas spent most of the year without Jordan Lewis. Then, boom, 2023, they had to spend the whole year without Trayvon Diggs after he suffered a season-ending ACL injury. But that allowed Daron Bland to emerge and have a record-setting, unbelievable year, his second year. But when you talk about now that next man mentality, right? Daron Bland is out for 6 to 8 weeks. Insert Caelen Carson. The 20-year-old rookie will get the start, but the moment's not too big for him.
To be honest, I feel like everything happened for a reason. I'm more than prepared. I wouldn't say that I expected it, but I'm prepared and I'm ready. If you make it bigger than what it is, then it's going to be a big moment for you. But I don't try to make it a big moment. It's going to be any other game. I've been playing football all my life. So I just feel like nothing changes. Just more people, more, you know what I'm saying, television. But at the end of the day, you've been doing this since you were 5 years old.
What's the biggest game you played in your life before the
Biggest game? Well, I would say matchup game, Caelen Carson, Florida State game.
What'd you learn from that experience?
That was a great game. That was really just don't make the moment too big. I feel like that game I didn't make the moment too big. And we just competed. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do, is just compete.
The rookie will be rocking the number 21 instead of 41, the 21 that was once worn by Hall of Fame cornerback Deion Sanders, the same number worn by former two-time NFL rushing champ Ezekiel Elliott, who's now sporting his college jersey number 15. But it wasn't just the weight of the number for Carson that made headlines. It was how he told the media he approached the Cowboys coaching staff to request the number change. And Talking Cowboys crew weighed in on that conversation.
I would have liked to have seen Caelen Carson get past Amari Cooper before it changed his number to Deion Sanders.
Well, speaking with the young man yesterday, he said that's not why he changed it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Doesn't take away the fact that it's still Deion's number.
Listen,
so let's not act like the numbers with the star don't have some affiliation and some weight that come with it. So
Stephon Gilmore wore 21 last year.
And Stephon Gilmore is a Hall of Famer. He will be Hall of Famer. So let's put some respect's due. I'm not saying he might go out there and show out. All I'm saying is I would like to see the young fella put some film out there before he changes his number to somebody, one of the greatest of all time.
Well, Marshawn has 94.
How much time have we spent on this show talking about the weight that 88 carries?
88,
That's different.
21,
the weight that 21, 22, like there's certain numbers.
Well,
nobody's wearing 22.
33. Everybody's wearing 33.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like, there's certain numbers around here that when you put it on, you got to show up.
But everybody's wearing like 33. I get what you're saying, and you're not wrong, and that's why it broke the internet.
On that side of the ball?
Because it's a rookie cornerback who's about to start now, albeit due to injury, and then he moves from 41 to 21.
Do what you want to do. I just personally would like to see him get past Amari Cooper first.
I think it's fun. No. I want to see the confidence beforehand,
okay,
not after the fact. Like it hits different if it exists beforehand.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But much like
just okay. Listen, the young man, Caelen Carson will be more than all right. Seatbelt Carson will be more than all right. Does that mean he will walk out there and shut down an Amari Cooper? I'm not saying that. I will say this: expect some help for Amari Cooper in covering Amari Cooper, no matter what side of the field he's on. Let's put it that way. I think Caelen Carson will have a solid game, though.
I just don't. I don't know, guys. I don't know if we're stretching here. I mean, here's the names of guys that have worn 21 since Deion left: Lynn Scott, Derek Ross, Julius Jones, Adam Jones, Mike Jenkins, Joseph Randall, Terrence Mitchell, Ezekiel Elliott, and Stephon Gilmore. Let's not pretend like 21 is a highly vaulted number.
Mike Jenkins.
On that side of the ball.
Mike Jenkins.
Terrence Mitchell in 2015. I mean,
I don't agree with that.
Let's not get carried away here.
Changing 2.
Does Caelen Carson have to step up this year?
There's logistics that go along with that. Changing two
what's
is different than
funny
receiving.
What's funny about that is you're saying, and actually I agree, certain numbers do carry more weight, right? But it's funny because when asked about it yesterday, he said the reason he changed wasn't necessarily because of Deion. He said, I don't want to get into all of that. That's not the reason. He said it's because the 41 felt heavy on him and the 21 feels lighter. So
feel good, play good.
Interesting.
Feel good, play good.
More pressure is lighter on this young man. I like I like this dude. This dude is a dog.
Caelen Carson's got big shoes to fill, but he's looking to set his own stage of being a rising star for the Dallas Cowboys. That's something that CeeDee Lamb, star wide receiver for the Cowboys, knows all too much about. After a 9-month holdout, he's inked his contract and back in the building. But will he be ready for Cleveland? Stick with us right here on Cowboys Rewind. Holdout done, paycheck received, and now it's time to light it up on the field. At least that's the expectation for CeeDee Lamb now that he's back in the building. But it's not that simple. Since Lamb's been back in the mix, Mike McCarthy's placed him on a pitch count in practice, trying to get him back in playing shape after his holdout lasted through the full preseason. But does that pitch count carry over into Sunday's matchup against the Browns? The players on Players Lounge shared their thoughts.
Let me answer this for you. Hell, ain't no pitch count. Ain't no pitch count.
He out there.
You out there. We outside. All right. This is what we outside tonight. We outside on Sunday. No, sir. There's no way you could go into Cleveland with the pressure that they present as a defense and limit anything that CeeDee Lamb has, because I'm telling you, it's going to be all hands on deck. You have to have, especially if you establish any kind of balance with that running game. If that running game is popping, CeeDee Lamb is going to eat, because he is going to be matched up man to man, and they're not going to change their spots because they're coming up against CeeDee Lamb. And when you examine this roster of the Cleveland Browns,
they got some dogs.
They got some dogs. I know we're going to dig deep into it tomorrow, so I won't go too far, but I'm just telling you, you cannot.
You there? Go ahead.
Well, look, the thing is, you're going to be Denzel Ward's probably going to travel.
He's cold.
Yeah.
Newsom cold too.
No, let me tell you who cold. Warren Thornhill is cold.
He cold too. He was locking up Justin Jefferson in the summer.
They have some guys in that secondary that don't play around. And look, you know why they don't. They have goons in the front. And look, we're going to talk about guys like Myles Garrett. He is awesome. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he is the one. And he is the guy that brings all the energy to what they do. But honestly, it's like when you have that kind of pass rush, it makes life, as we've talked about, so much easier for those guys, because they feel like, look, we can lock you up long enough for Myles to get home. But, hey, we've seen in games versus Houston, when that don't work, and that don't work, we got somebody that can work it.
Nah, I'm with you on that, Heck. I mean, it'd be hard to kind of hide him out there a little bit, because I was thinking maybe you can take him out for run downs and then bring him back. But coordinators are too smart in this league, and they'll be like, "Oh, CeeDee's out. Let's stack the ball." They'll figure it out. So it'll be tough to kind of get him on and off on a pitch count. Plus, like you said, if he's out and you're trying to be productive offensively, especially in the passing attack, who out there has proven, was it time-proof and consistency, that they can go out there and win the one-on-one matchups? I mean, Cooks back in the day could have. I haven't seen it last year. Ferg, he has an opportunity.
That's my man.
Ferg can do it.
That's my man for you.
But
Ferg, Kittle, Kelsey.
I don't know if he can get you those big chunks like CeeDee can. I don't know if he can get you those 5 to 10 yards, but can he get you those chunks like CeeDee can? I'm not so sure. And then Tolbert, this will be his first, season where he's going to be, a big-time factor as far as offense, catching passes and stuff. So to me, you got to pay CeeDee out there. You got to make sure he's not on the pitch count, because, like I said, coordinators will figure out when he's in and when he's not, what this offense wants to do. And if he's not on the football field, it's going to be hard for this passing attack to be productive.
Well, CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys looking to cook up something special against the Browns. But will the season opening games continue to haunt them? Their losing streak, actually, for that. They're 1-3 in season openers under Mike McCarthy. That's up next right here on Cowboys Rewind.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today. Cowboys Rewind was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. And by SWBC Mortgage, customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit SWBC.com.
The Cowboys' bounce-back game will be tested against Cleveland. They're walking in to Sunday 1-3 in season openers under Mike McCarthy. The last win coming from last year against the Giants. And now they're heading into Cleveland, the dog pound, and it quite literally lives up to the name. It's one of the most hostile environments in the NFL to play in. And if we're talking numbers, the boys have only just won 5 games in Cleveland of the last 10 meetings. Road games were a struggle in 2023, but Mike McCarthy acknowledged it. So tweaks have been made that help him believe there's a bit of more sense of urgency on the road. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Kickoffs at 3:25 p.m. on Fox. We'll see y'all in Cleveland.